Also, it's good to note that you cited a few sources when we were having our conversation before we started to record that backed up Jimbo's claims,
Yeah.
kind of matched up in regards to the coaching staff, Jimbo being out of the collective between the player, the school, and all of that.
Yeah, and shortly after, I think it was Bruce Feldman who had a comment from one of the NIL attorneys who said, what Jimbo said is absolutely correct. And having dealt with the collectives and all that stuff, and I don't know the full, collectives and what goes on there, but the one thing I was told is that it's 100% accurate what he's saying about that the coaching staff is removed from it, and the collectives that go on in general. It's following state law, and that's the way that the law was set up. And from what happens from there, is up to they're not the only collective. We've heard a lot about collectives over the past couple of months, and what happens there is honestly up to them.
And so, based on your understanding, and I've had this conversation with a number of people trying to clarify, and I know everybody's kind of out there wondering because a lot of this stuff is difficult to grasp, but the players can obviously do their own research and they know by word of mouth, they know about what's out there that the big programs are going to have NIL money available, and those opportunities are going to be available whether you go to Texas
Yeah.
A&M or Alabama or Ohio State, or there are going to be opportunities if you're a top flight player. But the schools slash coaches cannot directly contact the player in the recruiting process and say, we've got this NIL deal for you at this amount of money.
Correct. They can't be involved at all in setting up NIL deals or anything like that, and can't really have any involvement on it. And so really what they can do is they can educate. They can educate about NIL and building your brand and setting up, setting up your own stuff, but they can't have anything to do with organizing NIL deals for you. Now, players can, if they're curious on doing their own research, can hire marketing agents and NIL lawyers, and a lot of kids have actually done that, who can handle all that for them. And the coaches cannot have any involvement with setting up deals or even negotiating anything for them. They just can't have anything to do with that, and that's what the law says. And so anything that they go out and get on their own is fine. It's as long as it's reported to the school, it goes through compliance, and that's that. Now, I think the one thing you have heard from a lot of coaches around the country is that they just want uniform rules. Every rule is different in every state, and every state's got something different because it was just kind of put on the plate last summer and said kind of here's go state by state, and so as a result, everybody's got different rules and everybody's kind of going by different things. But the one kind of constant is that coaches can't have any involvement in it. Now I think the collectives, what's going to happen there is probably going to be something to watch. And I know the NCAA released their guidance a couple weeks ago about the collectives and all that stuff. But when it comes to current players and recruits and all that sort of stuff, they have all the power in the world to call other kids and see what's going on. And I know a lot of kids do that, is kind of call around and see what other kids are getting and how they're doing things and all that. And so really it's whatever you make for yourself. And I think that's the thing is, I don't think either Saban or Jimbo they were both saying the same kind of thing. Obviously, that they want uniformity. And that was the thing that came out of both messages. I know everybody kind of focused on the personal attacks and all that sort of stuff and the allegations, but they both kind of said that they want uniformity and they feel like there needs to be more guidance. And so, it's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of months and how this kind of all unfolds, because it's going to be a topic that continues to kind of stick around until there's more guidance.